Howdy folks. Well, I'll tell you, it's been, I'd say, I think it was like July 22nd we were out here last, and this place has just really gotten overgrown with this stuff. Man, water's way down. Well, we're going to do a little lure testing today, folks. Got some fishing lures to try out here. Since our usual place is completely inundated with lotus pads and what have you, we're going to have to put in a different spot here, and this might actually work out better. Let's see what happens here. Should be able to get in. Well, we are finally out here after finding another place to put in. Get this camera strapped on my chest and we'll get some footage if the fish want to cooperate on this nice glassy surface. Okay guys, we're going to give this Topwater one a little spin across the water here. It's like a Cavatron, the slowest buzzbait ever. See if the bass like it. And I don't want to be selfish and keep Dad out of the mix here, so Dad's going to be throwing this one too at him. So a little spinnerbait action, strike back from MegaStrike. And away we go. Alright, we got one on the buzzbait here. Not a big one, but it's a bass, and a little test worked out there. It's not big, like I say, but it's a decent, probably a good sized pan size one. Straightened it out too. I wondered what a big boy would do to that. Yeah, no big deal. Get her straightened back out, went back into place, and she's ready for another cast. The other one hit it right at the boat. I mean, right at the boat too. That's a bigger bass than the last one. Get you in here. Now, once again, that's the buzzbait that I had on there. That is the buzzbait. Now, what I like there, boys and girls, this big boy or girl or whatever it is hooked right there in the top of the mouth for relatively easy hook removal. Good eater. Dad just hauled one in on that spinnerbait he was using. That's a decent fish. Another show me state eater.
Top of the gullet. He swallowed it.
Uh-oh. Got that one down inside there, boys and girls. Oh well, we'll get her out.
Must be a pretty realistic looking bait for him to take it down that far. He had it hooked up behind his eyes way up in there.
Oh, you know, one of the cool things I like about that spinnerbait is that it looks like it's got a little hinge point.
You can just, that hinge point just gives it a more realistic motion when it's in the water. It's just not like a fixed point spinnerbait.
The head kind of looks like it allows a little bit of side to side and lateral movement there.
You can see how it flops around.
So this particular strike back spinnerbait by MegaStrike offers the new swiveling action that we were just talking about there. That head has kind of a lateral movement, a little bit more realistic movement in the water. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a spinner on there too. A little different color, a little different situation there. Still has that new swiveling action there. See what happens. We got a Colorado blade on this one here. Got some beads set up here. A little willow leaf action, and I've always liked that shad look in a spinnerbait. That swivel going on there. And a fish. On that spinner Dad was using. Dad likes to take them on a water ski excursion, kind of wears them out a little bit. Yes, sir. Nice one. On the spinner.
When you get hung in the Hydrilla with these baits, well, one hit at top water right there. and you get your lure back up to the boat. If you just bounce it a couple of times, the Hydrilla seems like it just wants to fall right off of these. Unlike other spinner baits I've used, you got to sit there and uncork everything with your hands. But he's not a very big one. Just pulling Hydrilla with it.
We are catching some fish tonight on these lures too.
Now when there's a fish on there, the Hydrilla doesn't fall off so easily.
Well, there may be a fish attached now. Oh, cool. That was neat. That'd be a little slow-mo action on that one.
Comedy video.
Cool. Now, folks, let me show you what we're fishing in here. Like I say, this is just a hog farm here. A hog farm. I caught a 6/8 a few years ago over there where that little log's sticking up out of the water. Cool place to fish. Here's another item that we were provided with from the folks at MegaStrike. I'm going to squirt some of this attractant here on that spinner and see if that sweetens the deal a little bit. Alright folks, first cast with the attractant. Feels like pulling pretty good there. Yep, that feels like a halfway decent fish there. Oh yeah. Not a big one, but I think we're demonstrating here the effectiveness of these lures. I'm going to keep you, and I'm going to feed you to my family. Alright? Okay. Boy, I don't know. We don't want to change that bait on you. We got a few more to try, but you're having such good luck with it. I think every time you throw it, you get something. Kind of feisty, huh?
Gotta straighten that one out a little.
Yeah, I've noticed that, I don't know, maybe...
Go ahead.
If anything, I don't know, perhaps maybe the wire is... Maybe there's a reason why it's a little bit weaker, I don't know. But you can always just straighten them right back, because I've been noticing that too on...
Oh, it's alright. It was just the pressure on it. It came right back. This one was hooked in the same identical place that one was, like right back up in...
Okay.
Right in the top.
Yeah.
They're trying to swallow it.
They like it.
I like it a lot.
So folks, here's what I'm talking about. See how that just moves back and forth as you're going through the water. Got that nice lateral movement. Looks a lot more natural than your everyday run-of-the-mill spinnerbait. Got me a little one, but the little guy's got to eat too. Yeah, baby. Yeah, I know. We might just turn you back to mama. Yeah, let you grow up just a tad. You're just a little guy, aren't you? Yeah, I know. Later, dude. I mean, just look at how that water is just cooling up on the top of those pads. Cool deal. Oops. Are you using a lure other than a MegaStrike lure? And see, that's what you get. It's a smaller fish.
I should have known better than not to use MegaStrike.
Okay, we're going to give the plastics a whirl here. We have a 4.5 inch Megabug. Looks like green, pumpkin, black, red fleck, something like that. Fleck, what have you. I'm going to go ahead and get that rigged up and throw that at them. And I think I will put it on one of these Pro Series shaky head with the new screw lock. 1/4 ounce. Looks like a pretty neat deal there. A little screw there probably holds it on pretty good, whether you're using worms or what have you. And it looks like that the ribs there on the shank would do a real good job of that too. A little shot of the Megabug and the hook and everything there for you before I go ahead and get it rigged up. Now, from my estimation, I would have to say that the shank here, in this case, this ribbing on the shank probably holds that on there pretty well. In this case, since we're not going to really be able to screw it on with that screw. That screw probably would come in handy in other cases, though, I can see, especially when you're threading the worm on. But as big as this bait is, I'd have to say that it might stay on pretty good on its own, so let's go ahead and give it a shot. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give the 4-inch Fat Shad Clear SIL Blackback a little shot here. I'm not going to put it on that heavy jig head, though. I think I'm going to try it on one of my hooks here and let it fall down to him a little bit slower over here on these rocks.
I'll say one thing for these baits. You can throw them pretty consistently to where you want to put them. They're balanced really well. I've been putting these things within 6 inches to a foot of the shore almost every time. That one was a little further out, but of course, because you're videoing it.
Of course. Green sunfish. Man, those are some monsters out here. They went for that big old bait. Man, he was hungry.
Bait's bigger than he is.
Alright, we got a neat story here, folks.
I was taking that sunfish off, putting it in the basket. This was just dangling over the side of the boat, and this thing jumped up there and grabbed it and almost topwater, and I almost lost my hole. I started to say Johnny Miller. No, he's a golfer.
Not anymore.
Johnny Carson. No, he was a comedian, which is what I'm trying to be. No, Johnny Morris.
Well, the sun's going down, and first cast after I threw a little bit of that lovely little concoction back on that spinnerbait there, and lo and behold, yanked in another fish. There's the stuff I was talking about, folks, but my tongue was all twisted up and tied up in knots, so I really couldn't say that stuff good. So there it goes again. Well, anyway, you know it's Attractant, so. And yet another one at dark 30. Same bait. Got that Attractant on it there. Good deal. Another little dinky fish at dark 30.
Look at him jump. Look at him jump down the water. He's on the trampoline.
There's the one causing the jumping.
He's on the trampoline. Isn't this fun?
I'd really like to thank you all for watching this video. This is pretty fun. Yeah. Cool lures.
Hey, you'll never believe how I caught this one.
Later, dudes.